Hey everyone, thanks for joining me to find out my scent of the day and my makeup wardrobe of the day. I am so excited that I finally got in some what are called cupcake risers to organize these perfumes, so I will be doing that tonight. They will give an opportunity for these really pretty bottles in the back to be on risers so that I can see the entire collection. So before we talk about my scent of the day today, I wanted to report back on my adventure yesterday with layering two fragrances. I layered Sea Intense by Giorgio Armani with Versace Crystal Noir. And I'm happy to say they made quite a nice combination. It was a milky, creamy, coconutty mixture, and I enjoyed it. It was, to me, light and close to the skin. So for my husband and my son, they had to be really near me to smell it. But I enjoyed that, and I will try that again. And I also look forward to trying them on their own later on. But my scent of the day today is going to be something a little bit more playful and less dark than the combination from yesterday. And that is Jessica Simpson's Fancy Love. So this is a flanker to her Fancy original perfume. And this is a sort of lighter, fruitier, milkier, more playful scent. So let's check out the notes. This perfume has top notes of champagne, peach blossom, and bergamot, middle notes of frangipani, jasmine, peony, lotus, and rose, and base notes of amber, musk, woodsy notes, and patchouli. On my skin, the champagne and the peach blossom are prominent, as well as a hint of the bergamot. And then the frangipani and the jasmine come through pretty prominently as well. There is sort of a bed of musk that all of that sits on, and a little hint of amber. I don't get much of the patchouli. So it's mostly for me this peachy, champagne light, kind of effervescent, but really sweet and playful scent. It can be just a tad bit cloying at times. And so I think I'm going to experiment and actually have this as my primary scent, but introduce another scent. Yes, I'm going to play with layering again and pair it with maybe something unexpected like this Hermes Un Jardin Sur Le Toit. This is a very green and fresh scent with a little bit of spiciness to it, just a hint of spice. Very linear green scent though. I have a hard time wearing this one alone because it has what I would describe as sharp edges, whereas this one is more round and fruity and full. This is very linear and sharp, and you have to be in the mood for it, or it just feels off. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a lovely, lovely scent, but you need to be in the mood. So this one has notes of grass, really prominent, sharp grass note, red apple, which I don't pick up as much, some rose, which I do get a little hint of, pear, rosemary, and magnolia. So I would say this is prominently grass and rosemary. What I'm going to do is spray this as the primary, and then maybe do like a sprinkler of this, like just spray it up into the air and walk through it to sort of tone down the sweetness in the Fancy Love and see how that works out. Let's go check out the makeup of the day. So here's our makeup wardrobe for the day. Got a mixture of different kinds of lines here. You'll see some Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, but let's start off with the base products. You already know that I have my Paula's Choice SPF 50 moisturizer on. I did go ahead and mix in a little bit of the Isle of Paradise tanning drops because I'm getting a little bit pale here in the winter and I like to keep a medium skin tone. So my foundation today is going to be Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. I don't see this in drugstores much anymore. It looks like they're maybe discontinuing this line or reformulating it. It does have some SPF in it. Again, as usual, do not rely on any of these kinds of products for your SPF. Make sure that your foundation has a good SPF or that you have a dedicated SPF on under your makeup. You'll see that I've gone through quite a bit of this. I enjoy this. The one downside here is it does smell like paint fumes. If that bothers you, do not pick this up. I have mine in the color MN3. A quick tip about foundations and concealers or any other products like this that are liquid based. Every so often go in and make sure that you are doing this number or something similar and shaking them up. Particularly with foundations, they'll last a lot longer if you mix them up and don't let them separate too bad and sit that way for too long. So the other downside of this foundation is that, well, for some people, it comes in this kind of doe foot applicator, which some people don't like. I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me at all. I like this foundation. It's been compared to the really high-end La Mer foundation. I have never tried that, but I've seen reviewers, compare the two on their videos and they look relatively the same. This has good lasting power. It will take me through the entire workday, maybe not all the way into the night, although I have worn it for an entire day and it's performed okay through the evening. It has a little bit of luminosity, very natural sort of complexion looking product, and I like it. I wish that if it is being discontinued, I hope that they are just reformulating it and maybe giving it a better applicator. For my eyeshadow primer, I'm going to use the Hourglass Veil Eye Primer, which looks, come on out, like so. I really enjoy this. It's a fairly light primer for your eyeshadow and does well. It's not like waxy like the Max Paint Pot, but definitely has its own merits. I enjoy it. I don't know that I would go out of my way to repurchase this, but I did try it. I bought this size to try it and I like it. You already know that I'm going to use my Becca anti-fatigue under eye corrector before I put on my concealer. As a reminder, this just sort of helps to fill in the fine lines under the eye to give a nice canvas, nice even canvas for your concealer. Today's concealer is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. It says super coverage. And I would say that it is fairly medium to full coverage. I have mine in the color light beige. I don't know that I would go out of my way to repurchase this, but it has certainly been a good concealer. There are a lot of makeup YouTubers that have this sort of in their top, 3 or 5 concealers for all time, like one of their holy grail products. I do like it. It goes on smooth. It gives good coverage. I just have other concealers that, I think that perform equally or better. And so this one doesn't necessarily stand out as one of the best, but is certainly a solid performer. So again, make sure that you're shaking things up and keeping the ingredients as mixed up as possible for longevity. I'm going all out of order today, forgive me, but my primer is going to be the Revlon Color Stay Prep and Protect Primer and Base. This also has some SPF in it. This is not one that I would repurchase, although I am making my way through this. There's just something about the consistency of this that bugs me. It is a good primer, don't get me wrong. I just enjoy using other primers more. This is one that I have to work to blend out. See that? It sort of looks like sunscreeny, which I just don't appreciate that. I want my primer to go on clear and stay clear. See? I don't know if you can pick that up in the camera, but it's a good, decent drugstore option. And I'd like to go ahead and just at least use up what I have. By the way, another sort of tip, even though I just said I want to use it up, is please don't feel compelled to have to use up all your products to the very last drop. I think that is just as toxic a mentality as feeling like you have to collect everything that's out there. Buy what you like, buy what's in your budget, buy what's going to make you happy, and use it as much as you want or as little as you want. It's in your collection. And don't worry so much about the guilt of feeling wasteful. If you don't think you're going to use something up, you're always welcome to pass it along to someone else who you think will. I do that often. And I know someone else will appreciate it and love it. And certainly they're welcome to pass on things to me that, you know, they may not be using up or enjoying as much anymore. But this idea that you have to use your makeup all the way up, you know, these like pan your eyeshadow projects and things like that that are on YouTube, you know, I don't knock it, but it's not for me in the sense that I feel like that takes the joy away from makeup. Makeup should be fun. You should enjoy it. You should feel like it enhances your natural features and makes you feel gorgeous, beautiful, pretty, whatever it is that you're going for, and not have to feel like a chore, like you have to pick up a product when you'd rather use something else just because you're feeling compelled and guilty about not using, you know, compelled to use up the product. So that's my little soapbox announcement for the day. Moving along, my eyeshadow is going to be the star for today, and it's none other than the iconic Mothership palette from Pat McGrath. All of her motherships are iconic at this point, but this is Divine Rose 2, which is the latest Mothership palette. And for those of you who are not familiar with Pat McGrath, she is considered, these eyeshadows are considered luxury items. They're quite pricey, so please be sure that you are watching for her sale. She does some great 30% off and other kinds of sales. But the palettes that come like this, the big ones, are called the motherships. So there's 1 through 7 at this point, and I do have them all. This one comes in this beautiful sort of rose gold pinky packaging. It's luxe, it's heavy, it feels like an experience. So here is Divine Rose 2. Quite an interesting set of colors, a little bit more sort of bold and daring than I would normally go for a work day. And you can see in my mirror all the brushes I have over there. Maybe someday I'll review those for you all. I will probably stick on this end since it is a work day and I am going to be on video conferencing, and maybe use one of these other colors here as sort of to zhuzh up the center of the eyelid, but just a little dab will do you. These are called her Astral Shades. And her is Pat McGrath, who is a famous makeup artist at this point, out of the UK, and this is her line of products. So anyway, has some really pretty, interesting colors. Like, look at this beautiful, ooh, that's so creamy. This beautiful pink. I mean, is that bold and fun or what? And then check this out. So no, I'm not gonna wear these colors today, but it's fun to use these shades up here to layer over the others. So now I'm picking this one up, this one here, just to give you all a sense of what I'm talking about. And let's pick up this fun shade up here. I'll show that to you. Look at that. I mean, is that fun or what? But if you layer it over, there's sort of just endless combinations. But for the sake of my colleagues, so that I don't blind them with Pat McGrath's Astral Shades, I'll probably stick in this family here with a little touch of that. And then for my bronzer today, I'm going to go with Becca Capri Coast. I really enjoy the Becca products. I love the highlighters and I love the bronzers. And so I have a few of these and a bunch of her highlighters. I say her like I know her. I have no idea who Becca is. Does anyone know? Anyway, this is a really pretty, really warm bronzer that feels very natural on the skin. It's got just a little bit of a hint of shine to it, but not very much. Oh, I forgot to tell you all, my powder is going to be the Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder. I have this littler size that I got from Sephora on sale, and it's been going strong. I've been using this for the better part of about 1.5 years, and still haven't made my way through. Let's see, it looks like I've got a little less than half to go. For my blush today, I'm gonna dip into Natasha Denona's Diamond and Blush palette. There are two of these. This is the citrus one, which I think is the lighter one if I'm not mistaken. And I'm probably going to use this cream blush here. She's got this little flap to keep the cream products clean from the powdery products, but I'll use this here, which is a nice pink shade to complement the Divine Rose 2 palette, and maybe even that one, maybe layer those two together. I may use the highlighter out of there as well a little bit. My mascara today is going to be Pat McGrath's Dark Star Mascara. This is a nice dry formula. So there are dry and wet mascara formulas. The wet ones can be tricky because if you're clumsy like me, you'll do your eyelashes and then you'll blink really hard and you'll get it all over your eye look and then get pissed off and have to start all over again or do a bunch of weird wiping off and you'll just be miserable. These drier formulas are a little bit easier to work with, you know, for that reason. And this one has an hourglass shape and just will lift my eyelashes really well and stays in place all day, and I don't get any fallout, which is, you know, the little chunks of black mascara falling on your face during the day. I don't get that. This stays in place. Eyebrows, the usual Precisely My Brow Benefit pencil in this dark brown, which is in the shade 3.5. I'll use that to just sort of fill in the front part, the part of my eyebrows that are in the middle of my face, whatever you call that, the part closest to my nose, and maybe pull the edge of it out a little bit on the sides of my face. And I'll also use this Gimme Brow Fiber, what the heck is this called? Brow Volumizing Fiber Gel in the color 3. Just brush that through my eyebrows to add a little bit of volume today, especially since I'm doing this pinky look. I'd like to have a strong, you know, brow to frame that. Finally, we get to the lips, and this looks disgusting because it is disgusting, but this is my ColourPop lippy pencil in BFF. So the color 1, it comes in I think 3 colors. So this is the lightest one, which is sort of this neutral pinky brown color. And then I will pair that with Maybelline Matte lipstick in the shade 550. Can I read numbers today? 545. Beige Babe. Beige Babe. So that'll be a nice light lip so that whatever sort of darker colors I pull out of the Pat McGrath palette will be the stars of the show. So there you go. I will finish that off with the All Nighter Urban Decay Makeup Setting Spray. This is a long-lasting spray. I think of this as like hairspray for your face. It keeps your makeup, you know, in place, gives it a little bit of extra security, and just helps it, I think, last a little bit longer. Some people do not believe in setting spray, and some people do not believe in primer. Fine, you don't have to use them. By the way, no one has to use any of these products. If you just want to slap on a little bit of eyeliner and some lip gloss and head out, more power to you. If you want to glam it up, you know, and use all the makeup products possible in every category, do you. Wear the fragrance that you love, get a makeup look going that works for you, be that natural, you know, or fully glammed up, and be your best self. That's my video for today. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a wonderful, productive, fabulous, blessed day.